They know me at Bank of America. Got a bank and it's not in America. Gotta save it, we just had to bury it. I be flipping this like an area. Brand new Bentley GT, that's my chariot. And I stay underground like I'm Harriet. I got the game and I married it. I got the holla.
They know me at Bank of America. Got a bank and it's not in America. Gotta save it, we just had to bury it. I be flipping this like an aerial. Brand new Bentley GT, that's my chariot. And I stay underground like I'm Harriet. I got the game and I married it.
What up?
I hold it down for my area. I'm always repping my area. Throw up an E if you with us. Bang what you claim if you real enough.
Everybody, hope everyone's. What's going on, everyone? I hope everyone evening is going well. Welcome to the set with the host, your favorite, T. Stead. Oh, yeah. Let's go. We have a lot to unpack tonight. We have a whole lot to unpack tonight. I'm excited about this one. There'll be a lot of great information, a lot of insight, and opinion from me. A lot of facts too, not just opinion. Will be a lot of facts being shared as well tonight. Bears Dolphins joint practice happened yesterday. It was a hot one out in Chicago, Illinois. Great facility out there, great fields out there with the Bears. They got a really nice setup. Before I get into the joint practice, I just put out a tweet on X and said that I would speak on the current relationship between Tua and Tyreek. I thought about interjecting here, not really interjecting, but kind of clearing the air. And I went back and forth on whether I should just leave it like it is or provide some clarity. I've decided to provide some clarity. I made the decision to provide some clarity because there's nothing here, people. Spent the last 2 days with Tua and Tyreek, spent a lot of time with both of them guys. And I can honestly say both of those guys spending a lot of time together. Card games, dinner, going to dinner every night, like we just hanging out, vibing like old times. Honestly speaking, it's the relationship looks strong. Not to say that it wasn't some repair that had to happen with the way that the season went and ended last year, with the comments that Tyreek Hill made after the last game. Not to say that it wasn't some fog there, some smoke in that area, but I can say present day, man, the relationship looks, seem, and feel very strong, very strong. Tua and Tyreek are well connected. Tyreek did not practice in the joint practice on Friday, and Dolphins offense missed him. They missed his presence and his playmaking ability. But just on the relationship, on the vibes of Oos and Cheetah, it's good. It's good. It's real good. It's strong. That isn't saying during the season it won't come a point where words are exchanged. Frustration happens if it comes to a point where Dolphins face struggles and challenges. These are two highly competitive guys at the top of the game in a very competitive sport, alpha sport. So, not to say that they won't ever bump heads again, but present day, let's not dwell on this relationship. Is strong, and it's time to get on to bigger and better things. Okay. Dolphins Bears joint practice. I went through 12 training camps. I had a ton of joint practice throughout my experience. And you get into such a rhythm going against your guys. You start to learn moves, you start to learn tendencies, and you also get tired of going against your guys. You know what I mean? Because they also learn your moves and learn your tendencies as well. So it becomes a repetitive challenge every day during training camp, going against your own team. Now you get to a joint practice, you get a brand new everything. You get new guys, you get new energy, you get new competition. And I always enjoyed joint practices. I felt like that was when I got my best work. I was able to lock in on my technique, things that I had been training on, working on throughout the offseason and into training camp, this is the time to get the real test. Joint practices are, I believe, great rehearsals for teams. Great rehearsals. So getting into this joint practice, Dolphins, Bears, before the practice, the defensive coordinator, Dennis Allen, he was with the New Orleans Saints for many years. So me and Dennis Allen was together for many years. Great relationship. We talked for a while, and he told me that he was going to keep it pretty chill as far as the different looks and exotic blitzes. He was going to keep it pretty chill before practice, is what he told me. And so we get into it. And the joint practice, I can honestly say he did not keep it pretty chill. Dennis Allen presented a lot of different looks pre-snap that created a lot of challenges for the Dolphins offense in protection, to diagnosis, route concepts and timings. The different looks that was provided during this joint practice was challenging for sure from Dennis Allen. So my take as a whole on the joint practice is offensive struggles. Both offenses really struggled throughout this Friday practice. I'll start with the Dolphins. Way too many negative plays. It was way too many negative plays. And not to say that the Dolphins didn't have positive plays. I will give them that. They had explosive plays, they had positive plays, but they were never able to, in my opinion, get into a rhythm of consistent positive plays or consistent explosives, which is what the Dolphins are aiming to do when they get out there on offense. They're aiming to get that first down, get everything rolling, get into that rhythm. And Tua making completions, run game, get the pop, you get. So they did have some explosive runs early in practice. Achane off to the left side a couple times. Jay Wright broke free as well. Tua had a couple really nice throws, but like I say, it wasn't consecutive. The Bears defense did a really good job of whenever the Dolphins had a positive, it was responded by with a negative play, like a sack, a turnover, penalties. It was a day that the Dolphins offense never was able to reach any type of rhythm. And that was I didn't anticipate that. I didn't think it was going to be there. I really thought the Dolphins were going to be able to come in and operate and look as smooth and as polished as I had seen the week prior at practice in Miami. They wasn't able to get in that groove, get in that rhythm. Dennis Allen, he shared some words on Tua as well on the sideline as we talked. He is highly impressed by Tua's game. He think he is, as far as accuracy, precision, anticipation, he is top of the top. He didn't want to say that if he would classify him as really good or in that elite category. He says that to him, elite category goes from a quarterback's process. How fast a quarterback can get up to the ball, well, how well he prepares first, how well he see the defense and the opposition, what they're trying to do. So he determines eliteness of a quarterback by how well he prepares and then his process at the line, how he can diagnose the coverage. He knows where his hots are. He knows where he's in trouble in protection. And we talked about the great Drew Brees, and his process was top of the top. And that's really what made him super special, his preparation and his process. I will say this also about the Bears and the Dolphins. So the Bears defense, Dolphins offense. And it's not that the Dolphins got out physicaled. That's not even a word, but they didn't get out physicaled or out hit. The Bears defense were playing on a different tempo than the Dolphins offense were playing. The Dolphins as a whole, their joint practice was how joint practice is supposed to be. Thud up, don't take nobody to the ground. You know, you hit the runner, let them continue through. The Bears wasn't abiding by those rules. I would say that. and it came across as they making big hits and all, but they weren't playing by the same rules. Nothing dirty, in my opinion. Nothing dirty, but it was extra. It was extra. You know, they were taking people to the ground, and they got close to Tua, even made contact with Tua a couple times, and they were playing on a different tempo. I also think Dennis Allen wants that type of energy. I think that's what he's looking to get out of that Bears defense. He want that intensity. He want them to fly around, play confident, talk some trash. So I would say DA was pleased with what he was able to see from his defense. Now, as we look over to the Dolphins defense against the Bears offense, it's a lot of the same story. Honestly, it's a lot of the same story. Dolphins defense was consistently more dominant than the Bears defense was to the Dolphins. The Bears offense had a couple explosives, run game throughout practice. They had a few plays that I'm sure the Dolphins run defense wasn't happy about. And they had a couple explosives in the pass game. Caleb Williams made a couple really nice throws, stepping up in the pocket and delivering a few strikes. One I feel would have been a long touchdown, an explosive touchdown. But that was about it for the day. First play of the first team period, Jordan Brooks interception. Jordan Brooks interception, first play of team period. Dolphins defense, they did what you would want to see. They did what you would want to see in this joint practice. And I think it's more that can be had. I think that is more that can be had. Let me just kind of touch on the Bears situation briefly with Caleb Williams. Like I'm seeing him, and you can see the number one overall pick talent. You can see where that came from and why he was the number one overall pick. And you see some impressive throws. But Caleb's process, as we talked about quarterback processes, Caleb's process playing that quarterback position has to improve fast and pretty fast, in my opinion. On a consistent basis, Caleb was not able to recognize where he was in danger. He wasn't feeling pressure. He wasn't feeling blitzes. He wasn't seeing blitzes and threats pre-snap. Anthony Weaver, the Dolphins defensive coordinator, was able to send guys from all different spots on the field, and man, a lot of those got home. A lot of those would have been sacks. So as many times as Tua would have been sacked during this practice from what the Bears were doing up front, Caleb Williams would have been sacked even more. Just really not seeing it. And I know Ben Johnson has purposely put a lot on his plate right now for him to try to overload him with information, and hopefully that'll speed up his process. But for the Bears to be successful this year and moving forward, his process has to get faster. He has to be able to diagnose his threats, where pressure is coming from, pre-snap reads, kind of understanding coverages. He has some work to do in that spot. And I'm rooting for Caleb. I like the Bears. I like what they have. We got a lot of talent over there, a lot of weapons on the offense. DJ Moore, Romeo, Luther Burden. I really like both of those young tackles that they have, Braxton Jones and Darnell Wright. I work with both of those guys after practice for like 20, 30 minutes. Got some really great technique work. I really like both of those guys. Back to the Dolphins offense and what I saw. I saw back to the negatives. Let's stay there first. Penalties, turnovers. I don't really want to. I can't really say that the Bears defense outplayed or dominated the Dolphins offense, because a lot of the issues were pre-snap issues. A lot of the issues really didn't have nothing to do with like actually playing football. It was a lot of the issues were seeing these new looks for the first time, Dennis Allen has a lot of exotic fronts. So just seeing brand new coverages for the first time is you have to game plan against this stuff. Like you really have to know your answers for a lot of these different looks and pre-snap read, just things that you will not be able to cover in a joint practice. So that part of it makes it more skewed because I would say 3-4 sacks they will not be stopped unless the Dolphins have game plan for these looks. This is what we're going to do when we see this defensive front. If you don't have those conversations yet, you're not picking up these blitzes and disguises that Dennis Allen is calling, that he's calling. You're not going to pick those up. A lot of the pick stunts that they were running as far as line games, they had a lot of linebackers at the ball, safeties at the ball, and at the snap, the linebackers are picking, knocking off the guard and defensive tackle coming around free. First time seeing these things in camp is going to be really hard to pick that up, to defend it. And I'm not giving any excuses. I'm not saying, all right, this is why the Dolphins offense look bad or rusty. No, these are just facts of football. These are facts of schematics. And these are facts of getting reps and experience. It wasn't all about just one-on-one battles. This man beating that man. That wasn't the case totally on the Bears defense versus Dolphins offense side. Now, it was guys on that Bears defense that made plays against one-on-one guys on the Dolphins offensive side. The secondary for the Bears played really well. They had times where through coverage and communication to us, he stuck with the ball, whether he's throwing it away, throwing it in the dirt, or taking a sack. It was more times that happened than you would like. I saw some receivers struggle to separate or not get knocked too far off their route in certain concepts. And then in the run game, Tremaine Edmonds was all over the field. He was. And he had a big interception in the red zone as well, where he read to his eyes and jumped the pass for would have been a pick six. So the Bears had some guys that came to play and they did some things really well. But as far as the Dolphins offense go as a whole, penalties and turnovers will get you killed. Penalties and turnovers will have you picking in the top 10 of the draft. Still a lot of time left in camp, but penalties for one, the things that you can control before the snap happens, like the game is already hard enough. But if you're putting yourself in 1st and 15, 1st and 20, 3rd and 20, you'll be picking early when during draft day. Plain and simple. So the false starts that the Dolphins offense had, the illegal formation, illegal procedure, that has to be point of emphasis. Which I'm sure it is. After practice today, in meetings and walkthrough, and then in the game tomorrow, you should see much cleaner football from the Dolphins offense. But the penalties and turnovers, those two are a recipe for disaster. I can't sit here and guarantee you anything of what the Dolphins season can be, what the 2025 Dolphins can look like. But I do guarantee you this: if they are one of the tops in the league in penalties and turnovers, they will be at the top in draft position, because that's not a good team. Teams at the top and penalties and turning the ball over is not a good football team. So I would love to see that corrected. Early, really, really, really quickly. Love to see that. On the defensive side, we had a bit of a scuffle, and not really a disagreement. I saw the whole thing. I'm seeing this unfold. I'm standing in the middle of the practice, watching the Dolphins offense versus Bears defense. Look left. I'm watching the Dolphins defense versus Bears offense. And Dolphins, I'm telling you, they're playing really, really nice defense, solid defense, not many explosive plays happening. The guys on the Bears defense side are taking guys to the ground. They're tackling the runners, hitting the receivers, like doing a lot. And it's a lot of, pushing and shoving the offensive line for the Dolphins. They knocking people down after like it's turning up. The energy of the joint practice started to rise like midway through. It started to get intense. And it was a play where Jordan Brooks is turned up right now in practice. Like he's turned up. He's trying to hit something. Jordan Brooks, he's trying to take something to the ground. He is on that type of time. And the Dolphins have the Bears like 3rd and 20, something crazy. Like it's a good situation for the defense. So Caleb Williams throws a check down. He catches the ball, and T. Dotson, he tags the runner. All right, boom, we got him. I got him right here. That tag off is normal joint practice procedure. You're not tackling, you're not taking somebody to the ground. Even though on the other field, they're doing a lot of that. The Bears defense is doing a lot of that on the other field. But on this field, T. Dot, he square him up, he tag off, 4th down. All right, they got a punt. Jordan Brooks didn't like the tag off. Jordan Brooks hated the tag off. That is I'm talking about hated the 2-hand touch, the fit up. He hated it. He like, no, you hit that, hit him, smack him, boom, right? I'm not exactly sure what T. Dot said. I'm pretty sure T. Dot like, man, I got him down. Like, you know what I mean? We're not tackling, boom, I got him down. They be like, no, hit him, smoke him. This is on the field. As they get the 4th down, so this is on the field. I see this exchange. They starting to go off the field and they get to the sideline. That's when the little scuffle happened. Jordan Brooks and T. Dot, I love it. Listen, I love the whole time it's going on. I'm standing next to Tyreek. We see the whole interaction. I love it because neither is in the wrong. T. Dot is doing what he's supposed to do. Tag off, boom. JB is doing what he's supposed to do. As a leader, trying to set the tone, set a mindset for your defense. You want to hit, we want to hit. Then, hey, let's do it. I don't know which one of them crossed the line as far as like calling each other out, and that's when they start swinging on each other. But that's nothing. That's nothing. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. You want 2 alphas going toe to toe, standing on business, and ready to go out there and exactly what they did. They had their disagreement. They chopped it up after, and they went right back on the field. But from Jordan Brooks' standpoint, I love it. Shit had me hype. I wasn't ready to go out and play or nothing, but yeah, JB, I like it. And T-Dot come downhill in real life. He do. That's what Jordan Brooks expect because he know T-Dot come downhill. That's what he expect. That's what he want to see. That's what I want to see. I love that from our defense, man. That mindset. And I know Minka spoke on it when they asked him about the situation, and he said, "Listen, Jordan Brooks just playing at a standard and an expectation that we gotta be at. We gotta meet." I'm rocking with that. Minka bringing that same energy, JB bringing that energy, T. Dye, JP, Chubb, Zach Sealer, them boys bringing that energy. That's defense to me. We are here to hit and ask for forgiveness later. I'm rocking with that. We need more of that. But that's all the scuffle was. It was Jordan Brooks. It was T. Dotson. But listen, it's nothing. That's nothing. All right, in these joint practices, man, the thing that everybody look forward to, one-on-ones. So that you get to a practice, even regular training camp, but not even joint practice. Like that's always the exciting part of practice. You want to see one-on-ones. And we're at this Bears practice field, and it's a lot of really cool people there. A lot of cool people in the crowd. But standing on the field, I'm watching one-on-ones with Charles Tillman, Peanut Tillman, super dope, legend. Cal Long as well, Bears legend. Some Bears Hall of Famers there. I'm standing next to Tom Garfinkel. We watching different guys in the receiver DB battles, all those good things. And then I run to the other side of the field because I want to see O-line, D-line one-on-ones. That's what I came for. That's what I traveled to Chicago for. So one-on-ones taking place, it's taking off. And the guy who had the best day in one-on-ones, in pass protection, really for both O-lines combined, Larry Borum. Listen, no matter what you've heard, what his the narrative is behind Larry yesterday, Larry's pass protection was impressive. The confidence, hand timing, staying connected, hand placement, variety of sets, disrupting rushers, disrupting rush plans. Larry Borum had a really good day in one-on-ones. He and it carried over in the team as well. He had a really good day as a whole in that joint practice, specifically in pass protection. But I really like what Larry Borum did. Another person in one-on-ones, Patrick Paul. Patrick Paul won a lot of reps. He lost his first rep. Feet got tangled. Guy went inside, knocked him down, and Pat hated it, pissed him off. Next play, next one-on-one opportunity, Pat tried to kill him. I love that. I love that. I do. In the NFL, you're going to get got. You're going to get got. No matter how good you are, you play this game long enough, you will get got. It happens. Now, the thing about it is you have to respond. And for me, whenever I got beat, I have to get you back like twice as bad. Like I got to pancake, like sell everything. I have to. And if I can't get you back that game, I'm writing your number down, I'm writing it on the side of my cleat so I can remember, like, next time I see you, I got to get my lick back. Marshawn Lynch had the great quote, the author, Marshawn Lynch. He said, you're going to get got, but I'm going to get mine more than I get got, though. I love that. I love it. So Patrick Paul, he gets knocked down on his first rep. He gets up, and the rest of his one-on-ones are clean. His technique wasn't clean to me. I didn't like where his feet were on a lot of those rushes. And even though he's winning in protection, and he got the guy, and he's staying connected, where I want him to strive for protection, for perfection in his technique. And Friday was a really good test for him, seeing so many different rushers. But now, regardless of who you see and the variety of rushers or what happened to play, I wanted to see him perfecting his technique and his feet where he wants to be with his feet and hands. Dan Brunskill was another guy who was impressive in one-on-ones. He's a veteran, 9-10 years in the league, spent a long time in San Francisco. He's a really good addition to the Dolphins offense and the depth. He has been a really good addition. Jonas, I know you guys want to hear about Jonas, the left guard. Jonas had continued struggles in one-on-one pass pro with his hand timing and hand placement. Still giving up his chest a little too much, too often, more than you would want. He's doing so many. Jonas is so close to like figuring this shit out. Like Jonas is close, and every day. He approaches the right way. He's professional. He's only focused on ball and like getting better and protecting everybody, making he's close. Jonas is close. still having struggles with his hands, allowing rushers to get into his chest, giving up more push in one-on-ones than he won. But the thing about Jonas is that's not really happening in team period. So when it's 11 on 11, Jonas is not giving up that push and getting driven back to the quarterback. Still trying to like really figure that out and unlock that for his one-on-ones. And once he starts to see it and he get his hands in the right spot and connecting with the inside hand to the inside peg or knocking a hand down with the left, once he start to see that happen in his technique, I think that it'll unlock a new level of Jonas. Whenever that happens, I can't say when that'll happen, when that will happen, but whenever that does happen for Jonas, it's going to unlock a new level for him in his confidence, in his resources and tools, like the sets that he'll get to. I'm excited for that young man. I saw Jalen Phillips, JP, had some really good wins against their starting right tackle, Darnell Wright. JP was able to win on quick inside moves. He looks explosive, man. He looks explosive. He's getting his get off back to where he wants it. It's still not exactly where he wanted now, but he's getting his get off, getting back comfortable with what he's doing. But he has some really nice inside moves on Darnell Wright that would have been sacks. Chop Show, really nice power. Chop Show, nice power. Chop was solid Friday. Chop didn't dominate Friday. Me personally, I don't accept that from Chop. I don't want Chop to be solid. I want Chop to be special. Dolphins want Chop to be special every time he step on the field. And not that he's not playing hard or anything like that. I want Chop, his production and his effect on every play to be there. I don't know, like that's my expectation for Chop. Y'all might feel differently, or you ask somebody else, but I feel that strongly about him, his ability, what he does, and what he can do. I want Chop to disrupt every play in some way, whether it's two guys blocking him, or if you dare to leave one guy, Chop has to beat that guy. That's how I feel. That's how I feel. Big dog Zach Sealer, he had some one-on-one battles with Jonah Jackson. Jonah won those battles. I would say that. The one-on-ones that I saw, I think they had 2 or 3 reps against each other. Jonah Jackson, he's coming over. He just came over to the Bears. He moved inside to right guard, and he looked pretty well, pretty strong against a great rusher, great player like Zach Sealer. So I'm sure the Bears are excited about what they've built up front with those 2 young tackles, man, that I feel strongly about. Joe Thuney coming over, Jonah Jackson moving inside as well. Like Bears online pretty strong, man, pretty solid. Receiver one-on-ones, I didn't see many, honestly, but a few guys that did stand out that I was able to see and was talking to on the sideline. So as we go into the guys that stood out to me over the course of the joint practice, I will start with Jack Jones. Listen, man, Jack Jones is looking like a signing. He's looking like a win of a signing. Like Jack Jones is he's a playmaker, and he has a swagger and an aura about him. Like I dare you try me. You know what I mean? Like Jack Jones got some swag about him that is, it's a huge benefit for the Dolphins defense. I think Jack Jones has been a great signing thus far. I think he'll continue to show that moving forward. I know reports came out that I carried him off the field. He was cramping. They was deep in the red zone. His calves were like completely locked up. He wouldn't have been able to walk off or like somebody, help him walk off. So I picked him up, set him on the cooler so the trainers can take care of my dog. That's it. That's all. It is nothing. I dropped him off on the cooler and went back and watched the rest of the red zone. But Jack Jones is 80 pounds with his phone in his pocket. 80 pounds. So It's nothing there. He was cramping. But he's doing some great things. Weaver has Jack Jones moving around a lot. He blitzing. I like that. I like that pickup. Another guy that stood out that you might not be surprised about, Minkah Fitzpatrick. Man, he's been a great addition to the Dolphins defense. His leadership, but the thing that I'm getting the most about Minkah, that the Dolphins are appreciating the most, his communication back there. Like he does not stop talking. They were in the red zone to close practice, and every motion, every look, like any little tool or tip that he had for anybody he was sharing it. I think that's fire, especially in that joint practice set, or not joint practice, just practice setting. Minkah was communicating. He's coming downhill too. So like Jordan Brooks saying, man, we're hitting. Minkah coming to us. So when you talk about Minkah, it's got to be mink. Minkah hidden. Mink. Remember that. Minkah hidden. But no, he's been great to be back there for sure. He's been great. I talked about Patrick Paul. He has some really, really nice pass protections, but in the run game, him and Jonas were able to create some explosives off that left side. Julian Hill, Pharaoh Brown as well. But man, Devon Achane was able to hit the Bears defense in team drills off the left side a few times, getting out to space. Like, it's hard to say where Devon actually goes on those plays, like, because they're not supposed to be tackling. But Patrick Paul and Jonas were able to make some movement on the left side. They did well. Jordan Brooks was a guy that was all over the field. You heard him, you felt his energy. Interception on the first play of practice, like he was out there. Some of the younger guys, Zeke Biggers, late round draft pick for the Miami Dolphins this year. Zeke had a day. And I would say it really didn't matter to him who he was up against. Zeke Biggers had a day. Very powerful, very explosive. He finished practice with a sack. He ended practice with a sack in the red zone. Would have secured a big turnover on downs for the Dolphins. Zeke Biggers was impressive. I'm gonna throw out a guy for you, a name for you guys to pay attention to. Hopefully the Dolphins will be able to keep him, but I think he'll be on the roster. Ben Stille. Whenever he gets in tomorrow in the game, or whenever you see him moving forward, Ben Stille. That's a name to pay attention to. He can play. That's all I'm gonna say. He can play. Kenneth Grant, he had a couple flashes, couple really good power rushes, knocking guys back, driving into the quarterback, affecting the quarterback. But not too much there. As far as the secondary goes, Sheffield and Storm Duck, they were solid. I don't think those guys got their hands on the ball, but they played solid coverage, man. A lot of intensity came up and fit the run game as well. On the offensive side, Devon Achane, I would say, he started off practice with explosive run off to the left. Then he lines up in the slot and across the middle for a 25, 30-yard gain, back-to-back plays. Like that alone shows his versatility. He lines up at running back, runs off to the left side for a 20-yard gain. Next play, lines up at receiver, runs a route, Skinner route, get a nice ball over the middle from Tua, and he runs about 25, 30 yards. So that alone shows his versatility. Those first two plays. Nick Westbrook had some really impressive catches. Did a 2-minute drill towards the end of practice, and that was Tua's best period of practice. He was sharp, ball on the money, hitting guys in stride. Nick Westbrook was the benefactor of that. He had some really nice catches. Malik Washington as well, really active, man. Run game, pass game. He's explosive. He's dynamic. Ball in his hand. He's dangerous. Really excited for Malik this year. Really excited for him and everything that he has going forward. Speaking of going forward, so I give you what I saw at joint practice. Now, what does this mean going forward? What does all this mean for the Dolphins going forward and for the Bears as well? But talking to my fans right now, what does this mean going forward? We have a Friday joint practice. Offense struggles, penalties, turnovers, few explosive plays, maybe a couple touchdowns, but not much to ride home about on a Dolphins offensive day. On the defensive side, really stout defense, gave up a little more yards than you would want in a run game. Pass coverage looked excellent. Pass rush looked excellent, and really strong day from the Dolphins defense against the Bears offense. So what does that mean for the Dolphins moving forward? It's all about your response. And as you guys follow me on here and subscribe and you listen to me, you'll know how much I truly believe in that. And not just in football, but in life. No matter what has happened to you and your situation, it's all about how you respond. And for the Dolphins, specifically the offense, how will they respond to the performance and the lack of production from Friday's joint practice with the Chicago Bears? They clean up the pre-snap penalties. They clean up the procedural issues. False starts got to go. False starts got to go. Illegal formation got to go. Those things have to disappear. And they don't have to disappear tomorrow, but they have to disappear early September. So it's still a lot of time left in camp. Still got a lot of things to work on and time to prepare. But those things, you will want those things gone in September. And it starts tomorrow. So, you rack up a lot of penalties in practice. You respond tomorrow with as clean as game as possible. That's what I'm looking to see. So the pre-snap issues, the penalties, as far as like the scheme and the challenges that were presented, I'm sure that the Dolphins will have more answers and some protection solutions to some of the looks. So what I'm looking to see from the Dolphins offense, I want to see rhythm. I want to see consecutive positives, just positive gains. 4 yards, 14 yards, 2 yards, 12 yards, 40 yards. Just positive gains. Let's eliminate the negative plays. That's what I want to see from the Dolphins. For the rest of the training camp, preseason, going into the season, let's eliminate the negatives. Doesn't have to be a huge gain, but let's eliminate the negatives. That's penalties, that's turnovers, that's tackles for loss, that's no gain. Let's eliminate the negatives. Positive plays, completions, and everything falling forward. That's what we want to see. For the defense, it's not necessarily a response because they did what you would want to see from the defense, but I would say I would want them the big four. All right, I don't know if these guys are playing tomorrow, but so much of this season and the production of the Dolphins defense will be on the backs of these four men: Chop Robinson, Zach Sealer, Jalen Phillips, Bradley Chubb. The big four asserting themselves as a dominant unit that can affect the passer down in and down out is, in my opinion, the key to the Dolphins' defensive success. And those four can do it, but if those four can line up and consistently, so just seeing them at joint practice yesterday, when all four of them was out there, they moved, they made Caleb move. They affected him. They were in his face, chasing him down. They can do that consistently. I like everything going forward for the Dolphins defense. So what you want to see from them, I want to see some young guys step up. Let's see some young guys assert themselves like I'm here to contribute to this team right now. I would love to see that, and more so in the DB room, D tackles as well. Kenneth Grant, I want to see more from him. Jordan Phillips, Zeke Biggers, Ben Stilley, like I want to see more from those guys. But on the back end in the secondary, got some young safeties, young corners. You know, somebody owns some spots now. Let's see somebody like, hey, this is my spot. I'm here. Y'all can bring in whoever you want, but I'm owning this spot. I want to see that from some of the defensive players. And these joint practices are huge for that reason. It's ops. It's opportunities. These joint practices are huge ops. Because not only is your team watching your team and your film, they get firsthand view of 90 new players. So you are already in your spot. You're competing with your room, everybody in your room, in your position. But every scout, every executive for both teams get a firsthand view on 90 new guys. That they won't get this view of these guys any other time. They will only see them in game film. They won't be able to see any other team's practice except joint practice. So a lot of times, a lot of years, you see guys sign right after preseason's over with the team that they joint practice against, because coaches get to see their practice habits. Coaches get to see what they're about at practice and their production. Coaches really get a more detailed, insightful view of a player. So these joint practices are huge. Is everything is multiplied. It is. For my full take on the joint practice, and I said it earlier, not making any excuses. I don't feel like the Dolphins' offense were out physicaled, even though that's not a word. Like I said, the Bears' defense played at a different tempo. They were taking people to the ground. There's a lot of pushing and shoving, scuffles going on because of it. But they have a lot of things to clean up, and it's the negatives to me. The negative plays, the penalties, turnovers, and tackles for loss, sacks. Let's see them string together some positive plays. For the defensive side, that fantastic four up front, want to see those guys be dominant whenever that time is, whether it's tomorrow or moving forward. Want to see those four guys dominate when they get that opportunity to rush the passer. One of those four get home consistently. And looking forward to a lot of the young guys showing up in the secondary and on the defensive line as well. We had a fan question that I want to, which I talked about pretty much throughout the show, throughout the set. Can you please talk about why our offense struggles so much with false starts and procedural penalties? Because I don't get it. Yeah, no, I feel you. Enabled swing. It's a lot that goes into the offense. It's a lot of procedures that goes into this orchestra of an offense. It's motion every play. There's going to be some type of motion every play. So we're going to start off in one look and get to another every play. So that alone, that's just more mental gymnastics. And I mean, we're professionals, so we have to be able to handle that. And you want to be able to throw in different cadences and use different patterns and not show the same tendencies. So things that you have done 9 times in a row, and the 10th time you got to do something different, but you got to be locked in to do it, just to keep the defense at bay and not, so they're not able to really lock in and know exactly what you're doing. So it's a lot goes into the Dolphins offense. A lot of motion, a lot of information, a lot of terminology. But it can be done, and it can be done at a high level. And for them to be successful this year, it has to be done at a high level. That procedure needs to look like an orchestra. Week in and week out, snap after snap, coming out of the huddle. And they can get there. They can get to that. They can get to that. Tua has been his command of the offense still was fire. I saw him do and say things yesterday that I hadn't seen him do or say often. And there's nothing that many people wouldn't pick up on, But I saw him under center in the shotgun, and he sent a guy in motion, and hey, that safety's coming down. Like, hey, they about to roll his coverage. Like foresight. So I love that. I love that. I love that command. I love that him being so sure of what he see or what they're about to do before it happens on the defense. They're about to roll the coverage. Safety, he's coming down, he's going back. Boom. All that sharing of information, that's beneficial for the offense. And that's confidence speaking. You have to be confident in your preparation to say, hey, the corner's blitzing. Don't worry about the corner's blitzing. I know it. Listen, be ready to go pick him up. I know that's confidence. Not to just think it, but to say it out loud. And for the rest of the team to hear you, I'm sure that corner's, you know what I mean? Like, Tua did that yesterday more than I've seen him do that previously. And that's fire to me. Man, the chat jump. Oh, boy, we got some numbers in this thing tonight, man. Let's go. Fans Nation. Love y'all. We rocking, man. But yeah, look, that's my take on the Dolphins Bears joint practice. It was a lot of great opportunity for a lot of guys. It was not much back and forth, man. I think, like I said, I think both defenses won today. They were able to do what they wanted to do and disrupt offenses. A lot of turnovers and celebratory plays on the defensive side. Before I let you guys out of here and we close the set for the night, I will be watching the game tomorrow. It's some matchups I want to see. I don't exactly know who's playing, but I want to see a lot of these young guys go out and perform, really start to establish themselves as key contributors for this year. I'm looking forward to watching that for sure. But before we go, I would like to ask you all a would you rather question. Okay. Last week's would you rather question got a little crazy. We had some people in the chat being weird. All right. So this week we're gonna ask that you keep it cool, man. All right. For this one, would you rather be able to eat whatever you want as much as you want with no consequences? You don't gain any weight, no health risk, no sickness, nothing. So would you rather to be able to eat whatever you want with no consequence, or be able to travel wherever you want and it will never take longer than 1 hour? So if you wanted to go from here to Dubai, you'll get there in 1 hour. But if you were going from here to Target or Walmart, to be however far it is from y'all, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. So would you rather be able to eat whatever you want with no consequence, or travel wherever you want with it never been longer than 1 hour? What you doing? Talk to me, chat. Travel. Okay. Good mixed reviews. Good mixed reviews. Seeing a lot of travel. Eat. Yeah. I don't know. I'm a bit mad. I think travel for me too. All right, my great people. I really appreciate you guys tuning into the set. I'll be back Mondays and Thursdays on the set. Monday night, Thursday night, we'll be live on the set. Appreciate you guys for joining in. Please like, share, comment, subscribe. Yeah, this was fire, man. I appreciate you all. Have a great night. Peace.